what's up? What's up? Welcome to Friday, the Boat Ramp Podcast. I'm with Bones sitting across from me. We got a new little setup, trying something different. But anyway, episode 49, we're going to be talking to Cigars549, Cody. But before that, Kraken Jigz. And hey, Chris, you can see your banner again. So I'm not blocking it. So Kraken Jigz is the sponsor tonight, KrakenKigz, and that's Boat Ramp 10, gets you 10% off any of them slow pitch jigs that you want to get. And anyway, and also everything's listed below, all our codes, all our sponsors. But always I got to shout out Miss Okeechobee Rustic Company. This is the nouveau riche. That's called New Money. New Money. So that's that New Money laundry, natural laundry detergent. Get you that New Money smell. You can walk in confidence like you got money. You may not have money, but you can smell like it. So anyway, shout her out. It's OkeechobeeRusticCompany.com. And the main one I always put down is Stinky Stompers. Spray a little bit in your boot. It'll take that swamp ass smell out of your feet. So anyway, all right, let's get going. And I'm going to bring in Cigars549, Mr. Cody. Welcome, Mr. Cody. How you do? Oh, I lost myself. You hear me? I can't hear you. Oh, hold on. I got you muted. My bad. My bad.
It's all right.
Yeah. Oh, there I go. I had to get back in. All right. Yeah. This is when you don't have somebody that can do stuff for you, like trying to hire some young kids. Yeah. I got to do it all myself. And Bones, he can't speak or do anything. So, it don't help none. So, yeah. So I'm glad you got on. I mean, I reached out because you shared the 10-7 fishing rods that I do for 10-7 fishing. And I know you got a code on your IG, or you had the link to 10-7 fishing.
Yes,
And we'll get into what 10-7 and the mental aspects of first responders is. But when you did that and I saw you like cigars, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to reach out and see, let's just talk. And so what I want to do, I know you were firefighter EMS for 15 years. I want to just talk about, your life growing up and then get into all that and cigars at the end and anything else we want to talk about. So
do it.
Yeah, so let's just start off, kind of introduce yourself and, where you grew up and what life was like where you grew up and everything. Since I'm from the South, I know you probably grew up north and yeah. So go ahead.
All right, guys. It's nice seeing everyone. I love everyone. My name is Cody. If you guys don't know me yet, my name is Cody. Recent. My username is Cigars549. It had to be changed because my Instagram got messed up, my old one, so I had to put that 9 in there. But really, Cigar54.
Yeah.
But I am from New Jersey. I'm from, hate to say it, Somerset County, but it is what it is. Trying to move out. I'm trying to move out much as I can to go down south. I've been here the rest of my whole life. I graduated in 2009. When I was young, I was private school, and I just did a lot of private school, and also homeschool.
Okay.
Because due to I have a disability of dyslexia and ADHD. So also I was on the United States team for Taekwondo. So I was traveling a lot and fighting a lot. So I was going to Atlanta and everywhere to go fight. So my mom was like my manager and and so I had to be like homeschooled. And so my mom thought it would be easier, so I wouldn't be getting bullied if I went to public school. So I fought all the way till very long time. I started at 7 years old, and then I went to the U.S. team at 14. I was on the national U.S. team, the youngest at 14 years old. I still fought, I want to say, till I was 16, and I had a lot of injuries. With top of that, with a lot of my injuries, concussions, I messed up my back. Did a lot of stuff. So I decided to retire, and then I went to wrestling, and I ended up going to public school, and then everything started changing. I started getting bullied really bad. It was just a mess. What actually saved me was being a wrestler, and I ended up being a big star wrestler in my high school. I ended up being county district champion, regional, and I went to regions, placed in regions, and then after that, I was going to get a full ride scholarship to Cornell University Division I college. I couldn't go to any of my full ride scholarships because of my disability, and with my learning, and with my education, I just couldn't keep on going. So then everything was doing well. Even with Taekwondo, I was about to go. I got accepted to West Point to go fight for the Army for Taekwondo. I couldn't do that either. I was the fighting part I can, and being on a team I can. It was just education. So I ended up retiring from wrestling, retiring from Taekwondo. After that, I decided to help people, protect and serve the community much as I can, help my town, help the people that when they call for 911 and they really need the help, I'm there. So I wanted to really, really protect and serve the people. So I ended up going to volunteer fire department, and I always wanted to be a fireman. I said maybe I couldn't be a paid firefighter because I couldn't get educated properly due to all that stuff. And my disability is just very severe. It's like really, really bad. I have like speech problems, and so I've been through a lot, fighting a lot through that. So then I decided to be a fireman. I went to fire academy. I got bullied horribly, hazed, bullied through the fire academy. So I said, okay, maybe this is normal, because when you're new and you're probie, it does happen. Shut your mouth, do your job, go to academy, do what you need to do. So I graduated academy. Then I started out my first department. I don't want to say names because I want to protect myself.
I got you.
But then I decided to be with them for a couple of years in. I was very good at leadership, and I was just born with it. Great leadership skills, and I wanted to because every time I do stuff, I always want to be the best. I always want to be the best. I always want to do what is best for me and what's best for the team, and so I always want to be an officer. Always, always, always. So I did all this classes. I did all the stuff that I needed to do, and anyways, they kind of screwed me as being an officer. And I said, well, what the hell? Like why I'm not being an officer? Like this is messed up. Well, of course, it goes to groups, and if you're not in the group, then they just won't like you. So then I ended up getting really bullied and just not being accepted, and it just goes on and on and on. And I decided to leave that department. I said, enough is enough. If I'm not going anywhere farther, why am I going to keep being on this department? Get farther. So then I went to the other department, and after that, that's when my depression started to hit. And you name it, they did the most. I have a list of all the things, and they did the most craziest stuff like hazing, bullying, smacking in your head, taking your phone from the engine to, you know, you name it. I got the worst hazing bullying there was, and they like if you tell anyone, well, you know, you'll have problems, and so I ended up not telling anyone. Then I started drinking, and
Yeah.
when I was on the department, I was just that was it. I was just never the same. Never the same. I couldn't be me. Like they stole
Right.
my energy, they stole my heart, they stole the love of firefighting.
Right.
And so I spoke up, and I said, "No, what? Enough is enough." And I tried to commit suicide twice. Um,
Mm.
Drinking really heavy. That's what I was trying to cope
Yeah.
with. And I said, you know, enough. And then they ended up giving. So we had the structure fire, and it was a room with content fire on Division Two, on the Division Two is on the second floor. Then it ended up going into the fire, ended up spreading into the basement,
Mm.
and it was just me and the driver. We were forced to do. I said, you know what? I'll take the attack line. I'll go in. I'll make entry, and I'll try my best to knock it down. So I made an entry with the attack line to the Division One into the. Then I ended up spreading to Division Two. Went to Division Two, found out it was a basement fire. Went into the basement, knocked it down. I did a really quick knockdown. I penciled it, nice quick pencil, right on the backside. Completely knocked it down. I said, okay, this is cool. You know, this is an easy one.
Yeah.
Dropped the attack line, went outside and told my chief. I said, hey, listen, chief. I said, the fire's out. All we have to do is just get a second engine. We just got to do some hot spots where we do make sure we do the hot spots, make sure that there's no other fire internally inside the walls, and that's it. Let's call it a
Right.
night. So he ended up cussing me off, and who you think you are, and they start calling additional freaking manpower, second alarm, third alarm. I said, listen, you don't need all that. You know, it's over. Why would you want to waste the town's money and the
Yeah.
taxpayers' money on something that's ready out? I literally just
Yeah.
knocked down the fire. So why are you calling additional manpower when the fire's knocked down? I just need to do two things: ventilation, and I need to do the hot spots. That's it. And now, if there's a fire still in the walls and still spreading, now I'll say, yeah,
Right.
now this is a working structure fire and call additional manpower. So, anyways, we get back to the station. He had the balls and the guts to literally say, instead of saying good job or I'm proud of you or
Right. Right.
a hell of a job by yourself, and you literally, you know. So, anyways, wasn't that. He's, who do you think you are? You know, and you know what? I got something for you. So I'm like, okay, you know, maybe he got something. Oh, it was cool.
Yeah.
And it was an orange shield. And he goes, let me tell you what. He goes, here's this orange shield, and put that on your helmet. And it's a probationary. And I've been a fireman for now 3.5 years at this department. I said, excuse me? I was like, excuse me? I was like, you know what I just did? And so anyway, so he's, I don't give a
Yeah.
damn. He's, I don't give a damn. I was like, are you? So after that, it was it was over. I was like, no, what? I'm done. I was like, I just, they were just, I don't know, like make me quit, and
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was more and more and more. It got so bad. It got so deep into it.
Yeah.
So more like I didn't quit. They forced me out, and now they blacklisted me, and I can't never be on any department in my county.
Do you think?
Messed up.
Yeah, that is messed up.
Yep.
Um, do you think? It was. I mean, basically, you weren't in the clique. You think that was it from the get
Right.
go?
Yeah. I wasn't really in the clique. I think I do because I always want to be the greatest I can be. You know.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
I never wanted to be a follower. I always wanted the guys to follow me and not me follow them. And especially, I want to show them the right way, you know?
Right.
And with firefighting, it's supposed to be professional, and you're supposed to be
Yeah.
strong. You're supposed to have great health. You know,
Yeah.
you know, and you're supposed to be loving for the people. You're a
Right.
firefighter for the people and for your
Right.
men, and to
Yeah.
protect and serve your community, and not to get, So they ended up being drunk. They always drinking while operating the apparatus. They were not listening to the low stat, what the low stat was supposed to, and how it's written. They weren't listening to that, so they were doing all this crazy stuff that it wasn't right.
Yeah.
And I was seeing this. I said, "Listen," I said, "This is not right. This is not right. What the heck's going on? You're not listening to this." And it felt that one of the guys goes, "You know what? You're right. And you know what? Firefighting to us is just a club." Man, when I heard that, my heart sunk, and I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah. So
So
basically,
that
they were there. They were there for the pension,
right, and like
basically.
that. So we get low stat points. So that low stat points. So each time you go do a drill, fire call, any operations, meetings, monthly meetings. So we have monthly meetings. So all
Right.
those points add up in a year. And if you go to every single fire call, like I did, and go to every single meetings and stuff, that it adds up. So when he ended up retiring, like
Yeah.
so that retirement money is from the low stat points, and those
Yeah.
points keep adding up. So I was thinking, too, is like, you know, the the chief, like when you have a chief on the fire department, would you think that the chief is the main boss, right?
Uh,
So
yeah. You would think. Yeah.
yeah.
You would
So
think.
if you want to pay department, the captain should be the leader, and then
Right.
you have the chief, and the chief is supposed to be the main boss that you listen to as chain of command,
Right.
and as the in-house leader as well, the in-house boss. Well, in the
Right.
volunteering way, the chief is only good. The only thing that chief is good for is being an incident commanding officer, meaning that he's only good for to going on scene and doing an ICS incident command
Right.
on
Right.
on a scene. So if there's a call, he reads the smoke. He'll go to 360 around the house. He'll understanding what he needs, how many apparatuses. He'll let the 911 dispatch knowing exactly what's going on that scene.
Right.
Um, when you get to the firehouse, he's not no boss. When he's at the firehouse, he'll look at the president of the firehouse, and the president of the firehouse is the main boss. So when you're at the firehouse, the
Huh.
main guy is the president of the firehouse. So the chief would
Really?
look, and it's funny, the chief would look at the president and be all confused, like, so if you have a problem, they want to write you up, it's
Yeah.
the president. And the chief just looks there on the chair and just looks there like, what, what do I do? Like, and
Yeah.
then I look at like them. I said, "You're supposed to be the chief," and the president is only good for as doing the bills and
Yeah.
doing the monthly thing,
Meetings. Yeah.
and the meetings. And so it's not it's not professionally running properly. So now it's basically is a club because it's just you got the president and then you got the chief of command that's just wannabe chief.
Right.
It's not the proper boss. And then you got wannabe officers that are just carrying entitlement. And then
Yeah.
then you got a bunch of ununiformed firefighters that basically don't train properly. When they do train and when you do a drill, like a monthly, we have a monthly Tuesday drills, and all they
Yeah.
do is they don't train. They just smoke cigarettes and they just look at each other, and then they say, "Okay, it's 7:30. Can I get my low step?" It's like, and
Wow.
then I'm just like, this is not right. I said, if you're going to be a good firefighter and a good officer, you got to train. If you want to be the best
Right.
and be the best company, be the best. Do it.
Yeah.
Say, okay, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is what we should do. This is how we should operate. Like they buy like stupid stuff. Like they buy a Zodiac boats. I don't know if you know about
Yeah.
Zodiac
Yeah.
boats.
Right. Right.
They'll
Right.
buy a bunch of Zodiac boats, buy an old rig, and then make it
Yeah.
like a water rescue team
Right,
rig.
right. Yeah.
The rig never goes out. Maybe it'll go out maybe for a drill, or maybe it'll go
Yeah.
out for a hurricane when we get a swiftwater operation for a hurricane.
Right,
That's
right,
it.
right.
So now you're gonna spend money on equipment that you barely use at all. So instead of using that money properly for your men and use things that your guys need, instead of
Yeah.
buying apparatuses or buying equipment that you're not going to use all the time. It's just insanely. And then they get these wetsuits, and they're not training with these wetsuits. Like all these wetsuits are not for those guys, so they'll like use different wetsuits for different guys. It's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
It, it's
That is
it's
crazy.
it's just not properly. And I'm like, this is how guys get killed. This is why that firefighters are being improperly called like
Right.
drinkers or bad firefighters, because it's the volunteer side. So the volunteer guys are using and a bad rep for the real firefighters that are paid guys. Now the paid
Right.
guys, they're the badasses. They're the ones that train. They're the ones that take care of their guys. They're the ones that eat dinner with those guys. They do, fight fire, and they're there for their guys in case something happens. They're there, and it's not properly run right. And I just
Yeah.
didn't like it, and I spoke up. And one day we had a hurricane, I think Hurricane Katrina, and we had a water rescue operations, and the guy literally told me, I'm in the water. I just got two patients out of the car,
Yeah.
and I extricated them. And he goes, "Oh, let me see your helmet." Like, you can't take my helmet off of my head when I'm still in the water and it's 2 a.m. and it's pitch black. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, what, are you trying to kill me?
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah.
S-
So they ended up me talking out and stuff. They ended up targeting me, and it just got real bad, and I ended up forcefully just leaving because I just couldn't deal with it anymore.
So, do you think, just curious, do you think that that's a problem across the country, or you think it's regulated to your county?
I believe in my heart. I believe it might not be all volunteer, but
Yeah.
it's more and more looking at it. If you go to the Fireman's magazine, and they did like a scientifically studied on it, and
Yeah.
they said that it's almost 50 to 55% all. It's almost going all states and all volunteer, and that they've been having a lot of problems. Firefighters not being unprofessionally and not the right type of leaders leading the pack as the team properly, and it's causing a lot of issues. Um,
So, um, so the issues you had, I'm just trying to get, because I've never been a fireman or anything, but the issues you had, was that more on the you were saying on the volunteer side and not the pay side? Is that what you
yeah,
were
I was a
saying?
volunteer, and I was never paid.
But
I wish.
the chief was paid, correct?
No, no,
Oh,
he
okay. This is
yep,
all volunteer.
all volunteer.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. So yeah, that's what I was saying. That the volunteer side, like the chief,
The
the
volunteer
so
side.
so you so you have the president, then you have
Yeah.
vice president, then you got the
Yeah.
chief, then you got the assistant chief, and then you got the first lieutenant, then you got second lieutenant, and then
Everybody just wants a title.
and then they have engineer, and then they
Yeah.
have a chief engineer.
Mm,
So all
okay.
these guys, oh yeah, and then some of these guys, you can take all the classes you want, but if the guy is just passed and he's best friends with these guys,
Yeah.
he'll override you. But if you're in there for longer and you have more experience, like an ICS 100, 200, 700,
Right.
300,
Right.
all this stuff. But if you not have a click and you don't have what they have,
Yeah.
like a pack, then
Right.
you won't never be anything. You'll never be on top of anything. You'll never be anything. You know,
Yeah, basically, if you come in new and you don't conform to their pact and
right.
try to be a part of it, you're just
Yep.
wasting your time,
Yep.
basically.
And they have their own rules. Like it's not
Yeah,
like low sap. We have a rule book, and that should be by the rules.
right.
And nobody don't even care. They just make everything up, and they think they can get everything away from everything.
Yeah, that does sound like a problem. I mean,
Yeah.
and you need volunteer fire houses because a lot of communities can't afford,
Right.
to
Yep.
pay, like the bigger cities. But
Right.
man, that's tough.
Yeah.
Now it's going to make me want to find somebody that's been a volunteer in my little town where I live, just to
Right.
see if it's kind of the same atmosphere.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like
And
completely. And
yeah,
one too is they tried so much different things and lying that one time they said I did this one time I passed an engine. One day it was like something else, and I'm like, well, that's not fair because all the other guys are running red lights, and you shouldn't be running red lights. Only chiefs can run red lights in New Jersey. By code, you can only
ah,
run blue and white in the front and amber in the back. And these guys are literally breaking half the rules, having sirens, red and blue lights. They're flying down the street. It's just ridiculous. Like how much they can break these rules and they get away with. It's like
so
absolutely insane.
so who does the volunteer? I know we won't stay on this, but who's the volunteer? Who they answer to? Who's the chief answer to? The mayor? Is that
So
or
yeah, yeah. So whoever that your town is like the mayor. So like our mayor
yeah?
is Governor
Right, right.
Christie, but I forgot his name. But it's the mayor's. So and it goes to the mayor and it goes to more and more and more. So I don't know too much of it, like the mayor and
Y-
stuff.
But
But
basically, if the chief and the mayor and the president and the mayor all good old boy network and all
right,
that, you're screwed anyway.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yep,
If
yep.
you try to ruffle that dynamic, yeah.
Yeah, it gets really like it
Yeah.
gets too much of that stuff.
Political,
Yeah,
not
it's all
not
politics.
yeah, not left or right. It's just the politics of the good old boy system,
Right.
basically. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So, um, the one thing, and we're not going to backtrack and talk of. It seems like you've moved on past after you quit, and I know you said you were. I guess that time is when you got in your depression, or
Yeah.
um,
So I got into my so I got really depressed because I couldn't tell anyone what's going on at the
right,
firehouse and stuff.
yeah,
So I started drinking. I used to drink 30 a 30 pack, and
wow,
yeah, like every night a 30 pack, and I just kept on drinking, and then you know, I just wanted to pass out and not wake up anymore. So
right, right,
wanted to do that. I wanted to overdrink myself so I can never wake up ever again.
mm,
So after I was assaulted multiple times at the firehouse, I finally told my mom after they knifed my tie at the firehouse.
wow,
Yeah.
wow,
So I finally told my mom, and I said, "Listen, I need help. This is what happened. This is what's going on at the firehouse." And I told her that she saw me passed out on the kitchen floor. I was just passed out.
yeah.
So I got help, and it took me a while, and I got myself help as much as I can. And I haven't been drinking for 5 years now.
So what period was this? When was this?
I was 22. 20, yeah, 22.
22. So you're 27, 28 now?
No, I'm
Oh,
30. I'm 34.
okay. Okay. But it went from 22, 23 to 28, 29 of just
22.
drinking.
Yeah. So I stopped at 23, and
Okay.
then all the way to 23 to now.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey man, one, I'm happy for you. I'm glad there's always a purpose and a reason for everybody to be here.
Absolutely.
It may take us a long time to find it. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, and
Uh,
I'm
Me too. I
but
I feel like life is just failing me. Just basically, every time
well,
I think, I'm like, oh man.
yeah, but I mean, just talking to you and what you've been through, but you keep on moving forward, even though you had a little stumbling. So I commend you on that. I mean, you could have checked out and you didn't. You
Right.
always want to strive to be. I mean, I see that. I know. I mean, I hadn't talked about fitness with you, which I'm not the. I started back with a guy that's kind of training me, but I know you work out, and I'm sure when you go to that gym, you're trying to be the best you can
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
you,
Absolutely.
for you,
Absolutely.
and so yeah, I mean, I have a daughter, and I always try to encourage her every day best I can, and
Yep.
just say, look, you are here for a purpose, and you got to find that purpose.
Yep.
You,
Absolutely.
you might be doing something you really don't like, but there's a reason why you're there, and that's the way you got to look at it.
Yep.
I truly believe everything happens for a reason. I
I
mean,
have a I have
you
a son.
sharing that, yeah, you sharing that, the 10-7 thing, you sharing that, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. So everything happens. So anyway, have you been married?
Yeah. I have two boys, and my
Okay.
one son, he has a heart condition, so we almost
Mm.
lost him two times. So
So
he had three open heart surgeries.
yeah.
So that was also been tough as well.
When did you get married? Did y'all already know each other from high school or anything, or you just randomly met?
No, we just ran. I don't know. I forgot actually. I really forgot. But I know it was. It was by a friend.
Okay.
I had to think for a second.
um, but so you have two sons, and so um, what I gotta talk, because I one of the pictures, and I told you I was gonna ask you this. Um, well, before I ask you that, as far as stuff you've seen during that time, I, I mean, did you basically what you were doing to volunteer? Was that the EMS part, or did you go into that later, or was that during that time?
Yeah. So I was a fireman EMS at the same time,
Okay,
and
okay,
so
okay.
me getting one whammy, it was a
Yeah,
double whammy because
I
all the guys were on the EMS too,
yeah, I
and it was
got you.
just
I got you.
yeah, it was
I
so
got you.
much, and then plus my son was getting sick, and then I lost my grandfather on top of that, and my grandfather
Oh
was
man,
a police officer.
man.
Yeah,
Um.
it's a lot.
So yeah, that is a lot. I mean, was that in a period of what, 5 years, 10 years, something like that?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
man.
Yeah, I lost my grandfather when I was 21. Yeah,
Okay.
21.
Oh, so you lost him during this
COVID.
crap with the. Okay. Okay. Oh, you lost him in 21.
Yeah. Yep.
I got you. I got
Yep.
you.
Yep.
All right. So going back to what I was going to ask you, you had straight out of quarantine. Um, what was it really like up up in New Jersey during COVID? Was it as bad as what we saw on the news, or um you know, I know y'all's lockdowns are a lot worse than what we were in Florida.
Right.
So I you know, just not knowing because I wasn't up there. What was it really like? What we seen, and that the governor of that state is uh, pretty bad. Um, yeah. Um, far as fitness, you couldn't. I mean, you couldn't work out, right?
Actually, we worked out. I worked out at home. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I worked out at home, but I was always riding EMS.
Yeah.
So I was always out. I was never home. Because I
Yeah.
was always taking the patients and always transporting them at the hospital. But I did get COVID 3 times due
Oh
to
wow.
someone, I don't know what
Yeah.
patient. But
Wow.
I got so we had a lot of COVID calls. So we were
Yeah.
running probably, I want to say, I don't know, man, like a good 300 COVID calls.
Mm.
And out of those 300 calls, I got sick like 3 times. And then after that, I came home and I thought I was always good with it, like clean my clothes and make sure that when I transported my clothes, they were in a bag. So I put all my
Yeah.
tactical pants, my boots, all my stuff in my bag all the time. Well, I guess somehow they still got sick. So I had the baby that just got home from having his heart surgery
Oh
to
wow.
my to my wife, to my mom, to my dad. I didn't get it that
Wow.
bad. My dad got it really bad, and my mom got it really bad. Um, but yeah, and then my other son got it.
Man.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
Hey,
And then after that, then I went back on EMS and started riding again.
man. I tell you. Yeah, I got my mom and dad gave it to me. We had to rush my mom to the hospital.
Oh
But
God.
she didn't get it till 21, middle of
Okay.
21.
Okay.
And that's when I got it. But they gave it to me and my mom lost oxygen, you know
Oh
what I
God.
mean? And so she ended up with double pneumonia, was in there 6 days, came home, but they never took a shot or anything.
Oh jeez.
And yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Um, and I have not been, it's crazy. We were just talking about this. I have not had the sniffles. And I mean, I don't get sick a lot anyway, but I
right.
hadn't had the sniffles. I usually get a summer cold. Never, I have not had anything since I got it in 21.
Oh God.
Nothing,
Oh.
nothing. I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
but
it what the COVID, but COVID wasn't. I want to say it wasn't that bad what they thought it was.
yeah,
But again, everywhere it's different. But where
right.
I was, it wasn't even transporting the patients. I mean, we still had to wear double masks,
Yeah,
N95s, double the gloves. You know, we had the whole everything. But I mean,
my,
bringing them
well,
wasn't
yeah,
that crazy.
the question I'm asking though is, far as the lockdowns and being just ridiculous about things, was
But
your county like that?
not really.
Not
I
really.
mean,
Okay.
the only thing that it was like severe, because again, I wasn't too much home at that time. I was always running calls.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I saw that the county had different rules, and the hospitals kept on closing down. So the hospitals had amounts of patients that they could bring,
Right.
and they said, okay, this is what we have. Don't bring this patient, because if we bring more, it can come out from the outside. So we had to transport them to a different location, another hospital.
Yeah.
That's the only crazy stuff that we actually witnessed, that they actually had their different rules for us. Because at that time, I was running a lot of calls, so I wasn't really home. But the only
Yeah.
thing that I saw was really the hospitals had its different assignments, and then we couldn't, when we were back in the we could only back in the rig at the emergency room,
Yeah.
and we had to idle it, and we had to stay with the patient outside while then the nurse comes out and let us know where to bring them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. So what's some of the craziest things you've seen far as EMS? Uh, something that you've never seen before happen to you on a call or whatever. What's something crazy?
So the craziest. I've seen a lot of bad things. I
Yeah.
went through the one thing. I went to a structure fire, and someone was trapped inside the division. I want to say Division 2, and I think they were stuck in the bedroom, and we were trying to on a way over there to go up on the stairs, but the stairs we couldn't because the fire was getting out of control. So we couldn't make entry into the stairs. So we had to try to go outside from the exterior, get a ladder, and try to go from the exterior to Division 2 exterior into the Division 2 interior that way. And just hearing her screaming bloody murder
Oh
to
wow.
death, burning alive, while
Yeah.
we were trying to stand by, trying to raise the ladder, trying to do much we can to get the ladder, and then going up, and then you're just hearing her. Oh, you're hearing her scream and bloody murder. I think that's
Yeah.
probably the worst. But I've done CPR on a baby, and the baby died
Oh
in my
man.
arms. Yeah,
Whew.
yeah, kind of.
Um. Yeah. Um. So with all that said, and we'll get into the mental part of it. Um, is there a community? And I know what 10-7 is. 10-7's off
Yep.
duty. And I know what he's trying to do with and it's something because I've never been a first responder. I was part of a rescue team for a county. You know,
Okay.
like we've had, I've been on stuff where you pulling guys up that fell off of mountains in
Right.
Alabama,
Oh,
and you
you're
have to
doing like
pull them up.
low angle.
Yeah, and boats where they hit pylons, and then you have to try to find them in the water
Yep.
stuff. I've done some. I've done some of that, but
Wait.
With the 10-7, the one thing, my dad is a preacher, has been a counselor he was military, all that. So I worked younger where I would have to you were expected to be like a man when you were 13 on the
Right.
jobs you would do during the summer. So it made you have a quicker mind to think about things.
Right.
If you didn't want to get cussed out, if you didn't want to you got to figure out what you got to do. But when I got divorced, I went through some bad stuff with that my dad said, you got to find a hobby. Do you
Right.
think that when you try to decompress what you see, is it something that you think that you need you need a community that you can vent to, a group of guys, but do you think it's best to have some kind of hobby that can take your mind off of what you see?
I think I love fishing, so
Yeah,
it goes
yeah,
to fishing, and it definitely helps. That's why I started cigars. Cigars like actually calms me down. And
yeah,
that's more like my relaxing time. So like when I
yeah.
have a cigar, I'm just not smoking because I want to.
Right, right, right.
It's more like it can relax me. It can I can think better. I can just be me. I like
Right,
that's why I
right.
like being alone.
Y-
But I honestly as myself, because I really have trust issues with people, and I
Right.
really like to be alone all the time. Um,
Yeah.
I train myself to just let it die, just let it go, let it die.
Yeah.
Let everything from your past die, and just
Yeah.
basically reboot your brain. Think, slow down, and just not think anymore what happened to your past, and just try to let it die. And that's why with fitness, I let everything die when I weightlift. I let everything go.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm
Yeah.
just like, when I put that music on, everything goes dark. It's
Yeah.
me time, and like, don't talk to me, don't nothing, because that's when it's my I'm all in. I'm laser focused. I want it. I want to be better version of myself, much as I can, because I had so many people really never accepted me, and really never believed in me. And I love me, and I love who I am, and
Yeah.
that's all we need. We basically just need you,
Yeah.
and just let it everything die, and just keep moving forward. That's what I kind of that's how I built myself in my life.
Yeah.
Um, it's better to be silent. It's better to not talk about it. It's better not just, I just let things like almost, and people ask me, they're like, how do you do that? Like, how do you just let it die? Just let it go. And I think after my grandfather, when I lost him, I
Yeah.
promised myself that I would never mentally get something so deep in me ever again. There was a couple of calls that it really messed me up. And
Yeah.
I mean, I cried on scene, and I talked to one of my friends, and he's like, "Let it go. Just.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but you gotta let, you gotta die to let things
Right.
go." So now I got a little smarter, and I just don't think about it. I try to just make everything die, and then start new, and keep moving forward much as I can.
Yeah.
And
And what, like I'm in construction, and
me too.
I I um I room with this guy. He's an older guy, and we were in the house one night. We were working up in Tennessee, and he goes, "Man, I got to tell you, I've been watching you for like 6 months since we've been up here."
But
He said, "I've never in my life seen a superintendent cut cut the job off at 5 o'clock." So I trained myself at 5 o'clock. I totally forgot about the whole job. I literally, if I got 100 yards away from the job, I wouldn't. It's like it was a blur, and then I'd start thinking about what we did at 5 o'clock at 5:30 in the morning the next morning. I trained my mind to tune it out, and I guess that's what you're saying when you see something like that. Um, one, I would just, I've seen some stuff, and I've been saved a long time ago, and I know that I have no control in this life of now the choices I make. Yes, those are my choices, but I know that God has a purpose for that. That's my opinion. That God has
yep,
a purpose for everybody, and
yep,
that if it wasn't for my mindset knowing that, hey, it happened, and you almost have to trick your mind. You
right,
almost have to trick your mind that you didn't see that. Pray about it, Lord, take it away,
yep,
and move on.
yep,
And that's the way I've dealt with things. Even my dad, though, being a counselor for 50 years, he yeah, he's not very emotional, and I get the same trait from him that I don't know what it is. It's just one of those traits that, yeah. Anyway, um, but yeah, I get it. But you have learned to do that in your life. Things that's happened. If it was somebody new, a young kid coming up now, my personal opinion is finding that hobby. It might not have to be with anybody.
oh yeah,
Just
absolutely,
like you got your cigars, you got your workout, but you do have your family.
right,
But you got a man, to me, should have a little time, just a little time to decompress from work.
absolutely,
And even if it's smoking a cigar for 30 minutes or an hour, and then you're good.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, if they had that mindset of having some kind of hobby,
Oh yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Like that. I was really never with hobbies. I was always like sports. It was
yeah,
sports
yeah, yeah,
or firefighting. That's like all I did in my life.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
like, as of now that I stopped doing all this, and this would really hit me hard. It's like
yeah,
now I'm so lost that I don't know what to do. You know, I
yeah,
was doing all this firefighting, and now I got forced out something I didn't want. You know, I wanted to keep
yeah,
going for the people, and I got forced out. So now I'm, thinking that different hobbies. So like cigars, influencing, helping
yeah,
others, and trying to build myself for
yeah.
the better. And honestly, yeah, just keep on. I'm just keeping working on it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean
still battling
I
things.
mean, and that's what I appreciate you for is that, I mean, basically you really had, you had a little spot there, but you haven't really given up. You're still, there's some reason that you're here.
Right.
You're here for a reason. So,
Yeah.
all right. So let's get off of that stuff, because that could go on and on. We got
Yeah.
to talk about cigars.
Yeah.
We got to talk about cigars. So, what's your favorite right now? And I know you said there's a bunch.
All
What's your
right.
favorite, and which style do you like the best?
My favorite. You ready?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm
uh,
writing it down. All
uh,
right.
it might be like 20. No, I'm just kidding. Not that much. I say I got so many good ones. Our Kingdom cigars.
Our Kingdom.
Yep.
Which one?
I will send it to you after
All
this.
right. All right.
What no, the Maduro? I want to say the Maduro is really good. The Connecticut is awesome. I want to say the mint. I don't know if you like flavored cigars, but the mint
Yeah.
flavored is really good.
Well, the mint, that's kind of like having a menthol cigarette.
It's not too bad.
I, yeah, no. I dip, so I do
Me too.
wintergreen. So
Oh, me
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my
yeah.
man. Yeah, I do grizzly.
Uh, yeah, I do that when Longhorn isn't available. So
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Okay, so I got Our Kingdom. Um, let's see, Don Bordelum cigars.
Uh-huh.
His cigars are absolutely amazing. Um, I will send you his link when we are done.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely amazing. He has a bunch of lines. All his lines are awesome.
Okay.
I want to say as boutiques.
What about I saw somebody share your thing,
Oh yes,
church
yes, Church. Yep, Church cigars.
okay.
They're really good. You want to try his Maduro? His Maduro. All his lines are great. They're a medium. They're
Yeah.
medium mild smoke.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
very good. They're very good, like an everyday smoke. I highly suggest it. So make
Yeah.
sure you guys try it, even in the chat room.
Yeah.
Let's see. Um, Don Baldwin, Church, cigars. I got. I do so many. Fuentes cigars is good. It depends of the price range. They're kind of an
Yeah.
expensive cigar. They're more like a luxurious cigar. Oh, El Septimo cigars. You have to
El
try out
Septimo.
El Septimo cigars. El Septimo cigars are absolutely amazing. They have bunch of lines. They have bunch of cigars. They range up to 30 and up. Could be $125 a stick, but still really good
Yeah.
cigar. Um,
So wait. So what style? Torpedo? What
so
I
the
mean?
Modelos. So I would say they have the short cigars. They're
Uh huh.
the short boys. So if
Yeah.
you don't have a long day. I mean,
Right.
you have a fast thing, and you can't smoke a
Yeah.
long cigar. I
Right.
say get the short ones. The short ones are very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you want to get the Maduros. I like torpedoes, but I'm not. I don't like too much torpedo. I'm not really a
Yeah.
torpedo kind of guy. I mean, I'll
So
smoke torpedoes. I actually love them too, but I'm
so
more
what's
on.
the difference? What's the difference? The what's the difference between torpedo and a regular?
So the torpedo, torpedo is more flat on
Okay.
the on the cap, and then the
Okay.
torpedo has more like a slant, like like almost like a roof.
Right. Right.
So when you cut torpedo, make sure that you only cut only like an inch,
A little bit. Yeah.
a little bit. Yep. If you still have a ventilation issue, now this is
Yeah.
why I don't like torpedoes too much, because you do have a lot of ventilation issues with a
Okay.
torpedo, due to how it's rolled, how it's made. Um,
Is
you
it
know,
rolled tighter? Is that
and it's tighter too. Some reason,
okay?
almost a lot of torpedoes. I always have problems with torpedoes having the smoke output. So what you want to do is you want to get a draw, and
Yeah.
you want to go put the draw stick inside the
Yeah.
filler, and then you want to loosen up the filler. Then you'll be okay. Be careful
Yeah.
with that, because you can actually screw up the wall of the body of the stick, and it can actually poke a hole. So
Okay.
you don't want that. You got to be careful that you're going nice and straight in the body of the stick inside the filler. The
I
inside of
got
the
you.
cigar is called the filler.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
tobacco is rolled with the wrap. So when somebody say a wrapper,
Yeah.
it's the wrapper, then the tobacco.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah. And then you got the wrapper, the filler, the wrapper, and then when someone says that the cap is the one that you cut,
I got you. I got you.
and then the foot
Um.
is the one that
Yeah.
you light it.
Okay. So the foot is the one you light. The cap's the one you cut
Yep,
to puff out of. I
yep,
got you.
yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I'm learning something. I told you before that I'm thinking that I do. There's a bunch of steel hand wrappers down here in Florida.
Okay.
And I'm thinking one of my ideas is to find a make on demand where I can have, I know I'd have to get my own bands made,
Right.
but where I can say, if you order a box, I want to have it where you can do box and maybe 3 at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Little 3 at a time package. And have it where when they place the order, I call them, hey, I need a box, and
Right.
see if I can work out some kind of deal with somebody close by well, close by is about 2 hours, 3 hours to Miami. There's a bunch in Miami.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I know a cigar company that's in Bayou.
Okay.
I'll send you all the information, and then you can
Okay.
contact them.
All right.
They have absolutely amazing sticks too.
Okay.
They just got their own cigar lounge as well, right on the beach.
Where are they located?
I don't know the top of my head, but I want to say Tampa.
Tampa. Oh yeah. Tampa, Sarasota. Well, Tampa or Fort Myers on the West Coast, and then you got a bunch on the Miami side. Yeah.
Oh, also, if you like coffee, and anyone likes coffee in this chat room, make sure to please follow Pour the Finest Coffee. I would really appreciate it. Pour the Finest Coffee is the absolutely amazing, awesome coffee. Also, it helps support law enforcement in New York City and any other law enforcement in the law enforcement family. And if you buy a bag of Pour the Finest Coffee, you will help donate, and some of that donations will go towards law enforcement families.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool because they follow me and I follow them, and that's because me and 10-7 are a little thing we got going on, and yeah, yeah, I might have to reach out to them, see if they'll come on and tell how they got started in coffee.
Let's.
Yeah.
I think. For the finest, me, you, and
Yeah.
10-7 we'll jump on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My dad, before we go, but my dad, he moved up. His dad owned 3 dredge lines in Manahawkin.
Okay.
And my dad was there through high school. Like he moved up there when he was 9 or 10, and then it went in the army, and then never went back. But yeah, so I have a little bit of knowledge of that area just from my dad's experience.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And is anyone also, if you guys are looking for 10-7 fishing equipment, make sure to follow 10-7 Fishing. I would really appreciate it. He's a good friend of mine, and I also show the brand on my Instagram as well. We have a lot of fishing hats. We just got in a new fishing hat. It's a sport one. Absolutely amazing, very light. It's very awesome for if you're sweating. I use it for the gym. Absolutely amazing. It takes all the sweat out, and it's absolutely awesome. We just got fishing rods, all bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and I'll have everything is listed below, and you'll have Cody's information. He has the link to 10-7 in his Instagram page. 10-7 Fishing for the finest. What's some other ones? What's the link that you have on your Instagram? It's something the innocent. They help with children sex trafficking.
Yep, it's for sex trafficking. So guys, also follow them as well. What they do is they have a bunch of undercover officers, and they try their best to stop human trafficking. Human trafficking right now is skyrocket. It's really big right now. There is a lot of missing children, just going missing almost every day. So what they do is they have an undercover officers. They're very highly trained, and they try their best to get the bad people and bring home the children.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to wait? Who's the apparel you got on?
Yeah. So make sure, guys, make sure to check out 12K9.
12K9.
Yep.
And that's
he is a police officer. He is a K9 officer. And he does all different clothing lines for different police departments. He also does Red Ninja. So check out Red Ninja. He is absolutely amazing. He's a police instructor. So he does his stuff as well. He also does a couple of law enforcement guys for the brand.
Okay, and hey, stay on after I take you off. I want to ask you a couple other things, and I'm going to take you off, and we'll end this, and everything's going to be listed below, and all the people that Cody's talked about. And Cody, I appreciate you coming on, telling your story, buddy. And yeah, hey, I'm going to leave you with this. This is one of my. I saw this on a movie recently because I've always been a half glass full guy, never half empty. You know, always, hey, everything's gonna work out. It might not, but I'm still gonna think they are. But so this quote, it said, "Don't be glass half full or half empty. Be the kind of people who know whenever triumph or disaster comes along, you can always refill that glass."
I love that quote.
So just remember, you can always refill the glass, dude. All right.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and we'll talk again. We'll keep in touch, and I'll talk to you in a second.
Sounds
Thank
good,
you.
buddy.
Thank you, man. Later.
Thanks.
All right, y'all. Appreciate Cody coming on. Bones enjoyed it, and I just want to say thank you, and we're going to y'all have a good weekend. Later.